Hello, folks, and welcome to the Container-Based Sanitation Alliance presentation. We decided that we would go ahead and film this part and have all of these videos in one simple link so that when we transition over to the live panel, there won't be any connection issues or that sort of thing. So let's get started. I'm Corey Russell, CBSA Chair and an assistant professor at the University of Oregon in Landscape Architecture and Environmental Science. And so let's start off with quickly, what is container-based sanitation? First, container-based sanitation consists of an end-to-end service that collects waste hygienically from waterless toilets that are built around sealable, removable containers. Container-based sanitation is often referred to as CBS, and you'll hear it referred to as CBS a lot in these presentations. The Container-Based Sanitation Alliance, the CBSA, is an alliance or a coalition of CBS practitioners from around the world with extensive experience developing and providing these CBS services in a number of locations. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of detail about how CBS operates, because we're going to transition here in a second to presentations by each of the organizations in the CBS Alliance, and I really will leave some of the details to those presentations. So the CBSA, the CBS Alliance, was brought together in late 2016 with these primary objectives in mind. One was to extend our collective impact, specifically on things like the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So for instance, before the Container-Based Sanitation Alliance was brought together, there had been a lot of attempts to get CBS defined as improved sanitation under the Joint Monitoring Program's definitions for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. However, that had not happened up until, because a lot of these groups are very small or they're in startup, and as they're growing, this can be very difficult to define what that is. And so by coming together and working together, have a much larger collective impact. And in fact, the CBSA was able as a group in 2019 to get CBS defined as improved sanitation. Secondly, it's to promote knowledge sharing and research. This is really important. Questions that transcend just one organization, but extend to the sector. Those are the sorts of things that the CBSA engages in and tries to work to get research, high quality research, that will move the whole sector forward. Third, create a common set of CBS guidelines and standards. If CBS is done wrong, then it can lead to negative outcomes. And so that's one of the reasons that the CBSA wants to create best practices around how to do this. And then lastly, to enable scale and de-risk investments so that these organizations and new organizations that will come along can go to much larger scales, servicing tens, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people around the world. Ongoing CBSA initiatives currently include sanitation safety planning. So all of the organizations are working to meet the highest level of safety within their services. Second is web and mobile tools for monitoring and evaluation of the services. Third, we're just finishing up a cost effectiveness analysis that we're really excited about. Will be coming out by the end of the year, hopefully around World Toilet Day, that has some great information on how CBS compares to other types of sanitation in terms of their cost effectiveness. And then lastly, climate positive sanitation work, which has really been about calculating how much mitigation on climate change you can get from container-based sanitation, as opposed to more polluting on a climate perspective, specifically with methane, traditional options of sanitation provision. So with that, I'm gonna transition, and each of the organizations is going to do a quick presentation on their situation, their service, and talk a little bit about urine and how they're dealing with it. So we have MOSAN in Guatemala, X-Runner in Peru, Soil in Haiti, Clean Team in Ghana, Sanovation and Sanergy in Kenya, Luwat in Madagascar, and Sanitation First in India. Then the first presentation is Clean Team, who is in Ghana. And unfortunately, they did not have time to present a larger video, but I just wanted to give an opportunity. This is an interview that Kelvin, the CEO, gave on TV in Ghana a few months ago. So I thought I'd go ahead and let that play here for a few seconds.
So we are a social enterprise, which means that we want to have a sustainable business, but at the same time have real social impact. And what we do is we bring waterless toilets to low-income households, and our model is that we give or loan a toilet, a simple plastic toilet to people, and then we charge a service fee month on month, which is a saving versus the public toilets, to allow people to have the comfort and convenience and the dignity of a toilet in their own home.
Second, we have Soil with Sasha Kramer.
Hello, everyone. This is Sasha Kramer, the Executive Director of Soil, and I think I probably had the pleasure of speaking to many of you several years ago at the Rich Earth Summit, and it's an honor to be able to speak with you again. I'm just going to give you a short overview that you can see in the video of our container-based sanitation service in Cap-Haitien. And what I wanted to talk to you about today, as it is the theme of the conference, is how we do or don't manage the urine in our container-based sanitation system. And I feel like this is the second time I have had to say in front of this group of urine enthusiasts that very sadly, we do not currently collect the urine from our toilets. So as you saw in the video clip, the toilet is a urine diversion toilet with a 5-gallon container for the fecal waste and then a 1-gallon container for the urine. And currently the way that the urine is managed in Haiti is that it's poured into a soak-away pit or into the soil or often into a canal. And this is something that is managed by the users. And I would say, as an ecologist and a person, this is probably my least favorite part about our service, because I know that people would prefer not to manage their own urine, firstly, and second of all, because I'm very sad to see all of those nutrients going into urban soils when I would like to see them getting back onto rural agricultural land. So the main challenge for us, and something that I discussed with this group several years ago, is that we are simply not able to transport that volume of urine at a cost that's not prohibitive for our business model. And because our primary focus has been on getting pathogens out of the communities, we really focused in on the poop. And I think that we're watching the work of Rich Earth Institute and other research that is going on around the world on how we can dehydrate and get those nutrients out of urine so that we can easily get them out of communities and back onto the soil. So I look forward to hearing what you all come up with.
And our next presentation is from X-Runner.
Hello everyone, my name is Arturo Yaxacondor and I am the CEO of X-Runner, a social enterprise based in Lima, Peru that provides container-based sanitation to over 650 households in informal settlements that are located in geographically complex areas and that face water scarcity, as Lima is the second driest capital city in the world. In this short presentation, I will give you a quick overview of our model, of our operations, and tell you a little bit more about how we manage urine. So, Peru has one of the worst sanitation coverage rates in Latin America. That is something really, really sad to say. Almost 10 million people, which is roughly speaking 30% of the total population, lack access to an adequate solution. In Lima alone, where we operate, nearly 900,000 people lack access to safe sanitation facilities. This represents severe problems for public health, and especially it is a problem among children. So in recent decades, internal crises resulted in migration waves from rural areas of Peru to the cities, and Lima in particular. thousands of people, thousands of families settle and build their houses in the rocky, steep terrains on the edge of the city, as the ones you can see now in the picture. This demographic explosion was obviously unplanned and happened at a very fast pace, posing challenges and immediate needs for basic infrastructure. Without a sanitation solution, families are using pit latrines, like the ones you see in the picture, which, as you know, are not safe, as they are a source of diseases, they attract rodents, insects, and undermine the foundation upon which houses are built. So here is where we enter. For the past 7 years, XRunner has been providing a sanitation solution through a customer subscription business model. After conducting awareness campaigns in community engagement activities to make families aware of our solution, we signed contracts with every family that is interested in subscribing to our service. Then our team installs a urine diverting toilet in their homes. Once a week, customers remove the toilet's waste collecting containers and safely pass it off to our collection team. We collect these 22-liter containers, which are sealed and which hold bags with feces and sodas. Finally, we dispose of the waste in an authorized municipal facility that operates under a secure treatment protocol. With this system in place, XRunner currently serves over 3,000 people in 660 households and has safely removed more than 700 tons of excreta from more than 150 communities in the south of Lima. So now, let me tell you more about our toilets and our waste management. We use a portable toilet that does not use any water, does not require any infrastructure changes in the house, and only takes 30 minutes to set up. This waterless toilet, designed by the Swedish company Separate, is urine diverting, as I mentioned before. Until 2018, we were composting the feces we removed, but we stopped doing that because the process was very expensive and our product was very low quality because we mainly had human feces and sodas and it was not enriched with other components. And besides, selling a compost made of human waste was difficult because of Peruvian regulations. However, it is part of our goals to explore reuse options for feces during 2021 and go back to a circular economy model. So now let's talk about urine. I must say that we are not proud of saying that we don't currently collect nor reuse urine. We know that infiltrating urine into the soil or letting our customers manage urine is a pain we would like to get rid of. And also because we are fully aware of all the nutrients that urine contains and that could be put to so much better use. We don't collect it because under our current service model, we don't have the capability nor logistics to do it. Our focus so far has been removing solid waste from the communities and all the pathogens associated with it. However, we started working on pilots with former landscape architecture master students that now have a promising startup called Leapfrog. They are designing water recycling units that can be installed in each household to reuse rainwater and urine and create green spaces in urban areas like the ones we work in, where water is scarce. And what is most exciting about this idea is that it has been co-designed with our customers. So hopefully we will have some news on that in the future. You can follow us on social media channels for any updates on this, and feel free to contact me if you have further questions on our work. Thank you everyone for listening.
my name is Mona. I'm the founder of Mosan, the attractive circular sanitation solution. Our mission is to provide families with a completely new sanitation experience. Access to an elegant toilet that people consider a status symbol, a lot of social benefits, environmental protection, and economic advantages. Mosan is designed to perfectly meet the needs of densely populated communities that require an off-grid solution. It started about 10 years ago as a research project. As an industrial designer, I designed a mobile urine-diverting dry toilet for in-home use. Through several pilot projects and collaborations in Bangladesh, Kenya, in urban, peri-urban slums, in refugee camps, the Mosan sanitation system was developed and tested together with different partners. Since 2 years, we are operating our first permanent sanitation service in the indigenous community of Santa Catarina Palapo in Guatemala at Lake Atitlan. Those first 2 years allowed us to adapt Mosan to the local context, start relationships with the community, with leaders, with authorities and partners. We brought our toilet into serious production and formed a diverse and talented team. We've developed our pyrolysis technology to transform human feces into biochar, a charcoal-like substance used as a soil amendment and both for carbon sequestration and soil health benefits. We collaborate with local farmer cooperatives to improve our biochar for fertilizer use. And of course, we are experimenting with urine treatment and reuse options. Step by step. Users sign up for the Mosan service. They pay a monthly subscription fee of 35 Guatemalan quetzales, which are $5. This fee provides people with our toilet, access to capacity building events, design workshops, and low-cost healthcare services that we provide in partnership with local clinics. People literally become part of the Mosan family. Our local staff exchanges the toilet containers twice a week. Full containers are being manually transported to our transformation center, where the materials are processed in different reactors. Our pyrolysis reactor and an experimental setup for urine precipitation with magnesium oxide that allows us to extract struvite from human urine. This process requires a lot of space and time for storage. At the moment, it's not feasible for us to scale this. Therefore, we are looking for technologies that would improve the urine treatment transformation process so it becomes more effective and space efficient, and we can actually continue treating, transforming, and reusing urine as part of the Mosan sanitation system. We're looking forward to learn more throughout this summit.
Hello, we are Sanitation First. We were formed in 1998 and since then have helped over 600,000 people have access to eco-sanitation, water and livelihoods in both Sierra Leone and primarily in India. Although we have worked in many states in India, the bulk of our work is focused on Tamil Nadu, especially in Puducherry and the villages south of Cuddalore. We started working in sustainable sanitation in 2005 with our first school UDDT unit, which is still working to this day. We only construct UDDs, which we call EcoSan, and to date have over 5,000 EcoSan units incorporating family, school and container-based units, used by over 60,000 people daily. We support the production of over 250 tonnes of compost annually, much of which is used by the families that produce it. The urine generally runs off to feed bananas or flowers in houses and schools. We started our CBS system in 2009 with the construction of a 4-toilet, 2-washroom unit that was stationed in Cuddalore. Although this ultimately proved inefficient to use on a large scale, it gave us an opportunity to determine the value people placed on using a toilet. Daily, the unit would cater for 75 people, mainly women, and the reason they gave for not using it more was that they couldn't afford the 1 rupee, that's about 1.5 US cents, for each visit. This coincided with us being asked by a local farmer if he could buy all of the urine we collected. This prompted us to see if we could balance the books through sales, and we stopped charging, and our usage doubled overnight. Sadly, we have never managed to balance the books. Our designs were going through various developments, but our main focus now was on what we could charge for both compost and urine. We looked at a number of options, including a field trial which grew aubergines, which was quite successful, and also filtering urine through fecal matter with bacteria to eat the remaining solid waste. This second item, a 2013 trial at our compound, was successful and did show that greater nutrients were generally found in the filtered output. We called it liquid gold. However, it was a small sample and needed to be scaled up, which was really beyond our capacity at the time. We still believe that urine, in some form, provides the best opportunity for income. We continue to work with our customers on our CBS system, and the current CV-19 pandemic has thrown up one interesting development. Users are changing and storing containers that we cannot reach, although without the PPE as shown. We are firm believers in CBS as it benefits both people and the environment. My name is David Crossweller, and if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Virginia Gardner, the founder CEO of Luwatt, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our toilet system as well as how we manage urine and feces in the Luwatt system. So at Luwatt, we make home toilets and waste processing equipment, which is used to roll out non-sewered services in emerging market cities. And here you can see some of our home toilet customers in Antananarivo, Madagascar, with their toilets. These are customers who pay a monthly subscription fee to have the toilets emptied once weekly. And here is a good place to note that our toilets provide an experience a lot like a flush toilet and also collect urine and feces together in the same container within packaging film, which is then separated out so that the organic waste can be treated in anaerobic digestion systems and other types of systems. But I'm going to talk you through that step by step. A toilet is always part of a system, and ours works like this. The toilet and refill system ensures a great and hygienic experience for both users and servicers. Our unique processing machinery then fits into existing infrastructure, supporting refill recycling and waste-to-value treatment of all organics. We've worked with leading utility partners, including Thames Water, since 2016 with this system, which also facilitates the treatment of human waste in anaerobic digestion systems that produce power and fertilizer. At the core is the waterless flush, our patented technology, which provides an experience on par with a flush toilet, but without the use of water. This same core technology is built into home toilets like the ones you see on the left, which are actuated mechanically, and into portable toilets, the Pro toilets like the ones you see on the right, which are actuated using an electric flush and also have IoT tracking so that services can monitor the activity remotely. These are perfect for construction sites and events. The system conveys waste into a container beneath the toilet, which is simply swapped out at the time of servicing, which can be about once a day in a busy event setting, or more like once a week in a home servicing setting. So we've basically developed our system so that it can be easily used and taken up by utilities and municipal service providers that are seeking high quality non-sewered solutions. On the left here on the top, you see a photo of a aerobic waste treatment facility, which is operated by Manila Water and where Luwatt waste has been processed in recent years. And on the bottom there, you see an anaerobic site, which is operated by Thames Water, also where our waste has been processed. But I present both of these to kind of show in terms of our view to scale, we really focus on providing a solution that enables utilities to get waste from toilets to treatment and safely processed. And then they will do with the byproducts what they like, but we do collect urine because we think that that's a value add basically for the system if you can do it affordably, which our toilet kind of enables through the packaging servicing regimen. You can collect urine and feces, although it does add cost overall to the system because there's clearly more waste overall, more waste volume to collect. On the right, there's a bit of a different example, which I really wanted to raise because it's quite cool. That's our Luat Madagascar operation, and in this case, we are recovering the nutrients from the urine and the feces. That's an anaerobic digester that we built, so that's sort of a one-off case where we've actually built the end-to-end system, and that's been in operation now for several years in the capital. There is a pasteurization system which is powered by biogas to ensure the removal of all pathogens, including soil-transmitted helminth. And then we can safely sell the liquid byproduct, which you see on the right in the bottles, which is a digestate fertilizer product, which is sold by our Luat company to people who are gardening and landscaping, et cetera, around the city. So in short, there is urine recovery, urine nutrient recovery in the Luat system, but we leave it to the partners and the local environment to decide if it's something that makes sense to do financially. And I think that even in Madagascar, we have found that while we have excitingly been able to build a steady business for the digestate, it's very early stages and it's hard to tell how scalable that really is. And then if you look at the utilities on the left, you know, again, it's really going to be local and contextual whether and how they're going to be able to recover value from the urine which enters our toilets. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Sheila Kibuthu, and on behalf of my team in Nairobi, Kenya, it's my pleasure to share our work with you. Sanergy has developed a system-based approach to safe sanitation service delivery, targeting non-seaward areas of fast-growing cities. In Kenya, we work in urban informal settlements where about 10 million people live today. Our main sanitation product is the container-based Fresh Life Toilet, an attractive, durable, and easy-to-clean facility that serves plot residents, institutions, and schools. The Fresh Life Toilet is prefabricated at Sanergy and distributed to urban residents through a monthly subscription model. On a regular basis, we safely and professionally remove all of the fecal waste generated by the urban residents. The solid fecal waste is transported to our recycling factory. The urine, on the other hand, is safely disposed of at our waste consolidation centers through tipping in the sewer system. We have the necessary permit from the county government for this discharge. At our recycling factory, the solid fecal waste is treated and converted into valuable agricultural inputs, predominantly organic fertilizer and insect-based animal feed that help improve food security in Kenya. In our years of operation, we have built a network of over 3,000 Fresh Life toilets distributed across 11 informal settlements of Nairobi. These facilities serve over 120,000 urban residents every single day at a cost that is 2 times cheaper than the conventional sewer solution. At the same time, we safely remove 10,000 metric tons of waste annually, leaving the city clean and its residents healthy. Let me now talk briefly about what we have done in regards to urine treatment and conversion. In 2016, we partnered with IAWAG, a Swiss water research institute, and the Pollution Research Group in the Department of Chemical Engineering at the University of KwaZulu in Durban, South Africa, to help us set up a urine conversion pilot. We piloted a system called VUNA that IAWAG has developed for urine valorization. VUNA is an acronym for Valorization of Urine Nutrients in Africa, and the word also means harvest in isiZulu and Swahili. The pilot's main aim was to retrieve nutrients, particularly nitrogen, and convert them into liquid fertilizer. Although the results were good, we realized that the technology and process was too expensive and didn't make economical sense for Sanergy. In order to produce enough liquid fertilizer for commercial purposes, it would require a lot more urine quantities than what we currently collect. It would also require us to build the market for liquid fertilizer in Kenya. For these reasons, we have resolved not to prioritize urine reuse. at least for the next 2 years. However, our R&D team is still monitoring such projects being done in the sector to understand if there would be opportunities to implement pilots in the future. Thank you very much for listening.
Most people around the world, after they flush their toilet, they don't think about poop. And they don't realize that in places like here in Kenya, 95% of all human waste isn't treated before it's dumped in the environment. 95%. The technology that most of the world uses for sanitation is the same technology that was developed over 100 years ago. So Sanovation develops new types of ways of treating waste and converting it into a solid fuel so that you can actually have a revenue stream to help pay for some of that treatment cost. So we specifically take human feces, so we heat treat it. So we have these big solar dishes outside that collect a lot of solar energy and reflect it into one place to get it hot enough so that you're killing off all the bacteria. In that process, you're not only treating the pathogens, you're actually converting it into a material that when it dries, it'll dry really solid and really hard. And so then we mix that with other biomass waste, so charcoal dust or sawdust or rose farm waste, and we press it and we make it into charcoal and firewood. And so it doesn't look like feces, it doesn't smell like feces, it doesn't burn like it. It looks and feels just like charcoal, so it's a perfect substitute. And so this provides an alternative that is actually curbing the deforestation here in Kenya and also supporting more safely managed sanitation.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching those presentations. Now, if you'll return to the Rich Earth Summit Zoom session, we'll commence with the live panel session and answer your questions. Thank you so much.